Hello everyone, I'm Anime Freak and welcome to the video. Today I am going to be reacting to your favourite Canadian YouTuber, a Showoff Showdown, Ladies Pirate Battle, Royale, Risk Boots versus Captain Syrup versus Miss Fortune versus Nami. Okay, let's see, the one in blue is, love that navel. Nami is, woo! The one with the purple bandana, yeah, she's all right. The one in the corner, with the two musket, she's fine. She's fine, but ooh, this is gonna be a tough one because I mean, okay, I know Nami has that that stick thing that can control the weather. I know the one in the corner with the hat, that's it looks kind of like the genie from Aladdin. Seriously, this is for kids. So freaking ways. I mean, uh, put me back in to the like 10-year-olds to the 15-year-olds, because I mean if games was like this back in them days, brilliant. I bet there's a lot of kids who got their sexual awakening towards a character like that. Seriously, what the hell's wrong with this generation? But anyways, yeah. Let's see. I've seen One Piece, but I haven't got past. Just give me a second. Where have I got up to? I got up to here, which is 324 episode 324. I haven't got any further than that. I'm gonna have to continue watching One Piece when I get a chance. As for the one in the corner with the blue skin, I don't. Is it Miss Fortune? I don't know which one she is, but oh god, what's her name? Shauna. She's from Shauna, and the other two I have absolutely no idea where those two are from. But no, seriously, the one with the CGI. I mean, who's she anyways? I've never seen her before. I've never seen those two. I mean, I know those two, but I don't know those two. So okay. If I had to say which one was the hottest, I would say, oh, Anime Freak, you weeaboo taco, get a life. Yes, I know. But you know what? I'm a hot-blooded male. But if you want my opinion, which one I think is the first, well, let's see. Take out the one with the purple bandana. See, it's a tie between Nami, the one with the musket, and one with the blue. Let's see. Okay, take the one with the CGI out. So it's a tie between Nami and the blue pirate. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna go with the one with the blue pirate because she's showing more skin. But on the other hand, I mean, Nami shows more skin, but no, Nami's fine. Seriously, why the hell do they need to sexualize their characters? I mean, seriously, can't just kids you'll be happy with the stories instead of looking at this crap. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm not really happy with the sexualizing of characters, because I'm in it for the story. Yes, you're thinking, what's it? Oh, come on, anime. You know you like this. Okay, yeah, I do like the showing off of female characters' skins like this, but I'm more of a story man instead of eye candy like we see here. So, but I mean, you could have a really good story, and you could have characters showing off a lot of skin, a lot of fan service for the, and it kind of ruins the story for me when it comes to a good story. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about who would win in a fight. I have absolutely no idea. The only one I know is Nami, and she has like that's a weather control contraption thing. So let's see. It's got about nearly about half an hour, which is pretty freaking long. So you know what? I think Nami might win, but I'm hoping that the blue one wins. So with all that said and done, let's get to watching. Okay, this is Showoff Showdown, Pirate Ladies Battle Royale, and 3, 2, 1, and go!
Welcome to Showoff Showdown! In this series, the fighters are called Showoffs, and this is the series for the Showoff Showdown! Now let's meet the Showoffs for tonight's showdown, shall we? Tonight, get ready to shiver your timbers and raise your masts! Cause tonight, it's the Lady Pirates Battle Royale! And tonight's scurvy fighters include the likes of Risky Boots, Captain Syrup, Miss Fortune, and Nemi! Who's gonna kick some pirate booty, and who's gonna walk the plank? Oh, and by the way, before we begin, this episode will feature a very brief pre-analysis for all 4 pirates. So let's not waste any more time and set sail, shall we? Now without further ado, it's time for the Showoff Showdown pre-analysis!
Risky Boots, Captain Syrup, Miss Fortune, and Nami. When you take your very first look at these 4 female pirates, only 2 words come to mind, and those 2 words would most likely be extra thick! Sorry, I couldn't resist. Now, while it is true that these ladies are a sight for sore eyes, don't let their looks fool you, cause sometimes looks can kill. Not only that, but these ladies are known for being the roughest, toughest, hardcore swashbuckling pirate queens of the 7 seas. However, there is only room on that throne for 1 pirate queen. So who's it gonna be? Well, let's find out. Let's start off with Risky Boots. Risky Boots is known as the pirate queen of the 7 seas and the arch nemesis of Shantae. After the great evil pirate master was sealed in his grave by genies, Risky Boots inherited his ship, his crew, and his title. Risky is known for being cunning, smart, clever, manipulative, slightly arrogant and cocky, two-faced, greedy, stubborn, cruel, and occasionally violently sadistic. Like many pirates, she is a very skilled fighter, especially when it comes to sword fighting and gunslinging. In fact, she's even capable and skilled enough to fight on par with Shantae. Now, instead of listing a bunch of Risky's feats, I'm only going to list a few of her best and most impressive feats, and I will do the same with the other pirates later. Risky is strong enough to casually push around large golden blocks, which can weigh at least 2 tons, she's fast enough to dodge bullets and lightning, and she's so durable that she survived a massive explosion that blew up an entire volcano and sent her flying across Sequin Land. The resulting explosion had also appeared to have destroyed the entire island the volcano was on, so I think it's safe to say that we can estimate this explosion to be somewhere between city and island level. Now that is some very impressive durability right there. Anyway, let's discuss Risky's abilities and arsenal. Risky can summon her Tinkerbat minions out of nowhere at any given time. She wields a scimitar sword capable of slicing through solid stone and metal, which also works as a boomerang and a pogo stick. And she has a pirate pistol with unlimited ammunition, and she also uses 3 special types of limited ammunition, including the Seeker rockets, which home in on enemies, the Spread Shot, which fires explosive bullets in 5 different directions, and the Bomb Shot, which fires bombs that leave devastating explosions and a cloud of flames, and can also be loaded with sticky bombs, which are pretty self-explanatory. Also, Risky's hat can be used to glide like a parachute, and her boots allow her to run at high speeds, leaving after images, skewer and plow through just about anything in her path, and even run on top of lava without burning up. She also carries a cannon, which I assume she pulls out of her rear end, which she uses to propel herself off the ground and fire explosive cannonballs downward onto her foes. She has a grappling hook, which is self-explanatory, and the Kraken Ball, which allows her to walk and breathe underwater. And she even has a steam-powered robot pirate ship armed with cannons called the Tinker Tub, which was later replaced by a giant sea slug used as a ship called the Tinker Slug, or Poop Toot apparently. So basically, Risky is tough with a lot of useful tools and weapons in her arsenal. However, she is by no means perfect, and she does have her flaws and weaknesses. Her slight arrogance and cockiness could leave her vulnerable while she's laughing or gloating. She could hesitate to defend herself if completely disarmed. Her Tinkerbat minions are loyal but not very bright and are easily defeatable. And if Risky is completely depleted of her arsenal, it could potentially render her defenseless in a fight. But other than that, Risky Boots is still a very capable fighter, and she is known as the Pirate Queen of the 7 Seas for a good reason. Now enough about Risky, let's move on to Captain Syrup. Captain Syrup is the captain of the Black Sugar Gang and Wario's primary rival in the Wario Land series. She is a master thief who has successfully stolen thousands of treasures from lands all over the world, including a giant golden statue of Princess Peach. Despite having a reputation known for being a rotten and ruthless guy, she is actually a very charming woman. She is known for being flirtatious and seductive, and often uses her charm to manipulate others or to motivate her crew. She is also known for being smart, clever, strategic, sneaky, bold, cunning, tenacious, and not to mention very narcissistic and vain, and occasionally stubborn. She's strong enough to carry around a bunch of loaded treasure chests, which should weigh at least half a ton, fast enough to outrun Wario, who's fast enough to run on water, and durable enough to take an explosion that blew up an entire building. Like Risky, she also has an arsenal full of useful tools and weapons, including a sword, a spear, a hamster ball, a getaway car, and a large bomb that can blow up an entire castle, although she only uses it as a last resort. Also, Captain Syrup has at least 3 different robotic aircrafts, which mainly drop bombs on her enemies, although her bombs can be used against her if they're caught before they explode, and even somebody as simple-minded as Wario could figure it out. Not only does she have a big arsenal, but like many pirate captains, she also has her own pirate crew at her disposal, although most of her minions are pretty weak and can be defeated fairly easily. Her strongest minion is a genie in a lamp named Denpu. Now this genie is not nearly as powerful as say the genie from Aladdin. In fact, he doesn't really do much aside from floating, shooting fireballs, summoning minions, and temporarily trapping you inside his lamp, which can be destroyed by the way. Not only that, but it actually takes only a few good hits to beat him, and after you've defeated him, he'll grant you one wish for a small price, but only something relatively small like a castle for example. Anyway, while Captain Syrup has proven herself to be a master thief and a manageable captain, she does have her fair share of flaws. Captain Syrup isn't really much of a fighter, nor does she have any formal fighting skill, and she usually leaves most of the direct fighting to her minions. Outside of her aircraft, she doesn't really have many options of defending herself. She can also sometimes get a little distracted by her own vanity while putting on makeup. She sometimes focuses more on escaping than actually fighting, and all of her explosives can be used against her. Not to mention, she once rubbed Mario's crotch because she thought he had a genie lamp in his pants. Needless to say, there wasn't. However, despite her flaws, she has been a master thief and a successful pirate for many years. Better guard your treasures, cause she can steal them when you least expect it. Now enough about Syrup, let's talk about a pirate who's a little more fortunate. Miss Fortune is from the game series known as League of Legends. She is known for being a professional bounty hunter, marksman, assassin, and a pirate captain who is famed for her looks but feared for her ruthlessness. While she may seem very flirtatious and seductive on the outside, but on the inside she's a hardcore ruthless killer who won't hesitate to pull the trigger. Now don't get on her bad side or she might kill you as soon as she looks at you. Now before she became the badass bounty hunter she is now, she was once known as Sarah Fortune, the beloved daughter of a renowned gun dame who lived peacefully at her workshop with her family. But that all changed when a ruthless pirate known as Gangplank murdered her family right in front of her. Ever since then, Sarah has devoted her life to getting her lifelong revenge, which she eventually achieved. Or at least that's the short version. There's a lot more detail if you look up her biography. Now keep in mind, I am only going to be using the original Miss Fortune, which means I will not include her arcade nor Star Guardian incarnations, for 3 reasons. 1, I have been told that these versions of Miss Fortune are non-canon and or just skins, although I'm not a League of Legends expert so I don't know for sure. 2, from what I've read, these forms were said to be incredibly overpowered. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I think it's best to just stick with the original Miss Fortune just to be both safe and fair. And 3, this is a Pirates Battle Royale, and with her arcade and Star Guardian incarnations, she isn't really that much of a pirate anymore if you think about it. Her arcade form looks more like something you'd see in Splatoon, sorta, and her Star Guardian form essentially makes her more of a Sailor Scout than a pirate if you really think about it. So in order to keep things safe, fair, and balanced, I'm only going to be using the original Miss Fortune for this battle. Now that I got that covered, let's discuss her physicality. Because Miss Fortune isn't much of a hand-to-hand combat fighter, she hasn't really shown that many feats of physical strength. However, I think we could safely assume that she can be scaled at least peak human level, which is roughly 1,000 to 2,000 pounds on average, more or less. Anyway, Miss Fortune is fast enough to dodge bullets, and she's also durable enough to survive bullets, even being shot near her heart. Now we could highball Miss Fortune's stats by scaling her to other champions in League of Legends and say she has lightning speed and has small town level durability, but not only do those stats belong to other different characters and are not her own, but that would really be overestimating her. So it's possible that but she may or may not only be peak human level, although peak humans can't dodge bullets, so there's that. Now, scaling Miss Fortune to other champions just to amplify her stats might not be the best idea, although because Miss Fortune's got some really tough competition for this battle, she's probably gonna need those highball stats in order to stand a good chance. In fact, if we lowball her to only peak human level, she's gonna get crushed. So therefore, I think it's only fair for just this one time to include those highball stats just to give her a good chance in this battle. Okay, now that we covered that, let's discuss her skills and weaponry. Now, like I said earlier, Miss Fortune is known for being a very skilled marksman, which basically means she's a professional gunslinger. Speaking of which, Miss Fortune is popularly well known for packing 2 really big guns, if you know what I mean. By which I mean her signature dual pirate pistols. What do you think I was talking about?
How do you like my guns? Shock and ah.
Now, the guns she wields are no ordinary pirate pistols. These guns were created by her mother, and they were said to be masterpieces, twin hand cannons of pinpoint lethality and exquisite beauty, and they were said to be more devastatingly powerful than any ordinary handgun wielded by man. So not only do these big guns pack one heck of a punch, one that can pierce through heavily armored foes, but Miss Fortune also has at least 5 different special abilities, most of which involve gunslinging. Her strut ability grants her bonus movement speed that builds up over time if she has not been damaged in at least 5 seconds. Double up basically allows her bullets to bounce off of multiple enemies. Make It Rain is pretty self-explanatory, it basically showers an area in bullets. Love Tap allows her to deal bonus damage when she attacks a new target, and one of her strongest attacks is Bullet Time, which fires multiple large devastating waves of bullets at her foes. Now, as dangerous and skilled as she is, she does have her flaws. While she is very skilled at gunslinging, she's not as skilled in hand-to-hand or close combat in general. While she does have a sword, she doesn't use it as often, because she's mainly a long-range fighter and she usually likes to keep her distance. Also, there are times which she can be a little bit trigger-happy, and if she is facing an opponent who is just as skilled as herself, or possibly even more skilled, or if her opponent is able to outmaneuver her attacks and get close enough to land good close-up hits on her, then chances are she will most likely struggle in mid-combat. But despite her flaws, this hardcore sharpshooting bounty hunter is still gonna give it her all, whether target locked and
Guns blazing.
Now last, but certainly not least, let's talk about Nami. Nami is from the anime One Piece and a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. While she may not be the leader or captain, she is still a very important and respected member of the crew, being the Straw Hat's navigator. She was formerly a member of the Arlong Pirates and initially joined the Straw Hat Pirates in order to rob them for her real crew, but then joined the Straw Hats for real after they rebelled against and defeated Arlong. Nami is known for being smart, clever, strategic, persuasive, manipulative, bold, adventurous, cunning, devilish, stingy, greedy, intimidating, and sometimes stubborn and hot-headed, but at the same time very passionate, caring, and protective of her friends. She is so fast, she can move faster than the eye can see, and is able to anticipate, block, and deflect lightning-based attacks. Not to mention, she can also give herself a speed boost by groping herself, apparently. Anyway, as for strength, Nami has surprisingly impressive superhuman strength. For example, Nami can punch with enough force to send people like Sanji flying about 100 feet into the air. Now, this feat was really not easy to estimate, but I think I managed to find a random but comparable example that may or may not work. For example, in the video game Killer Instinct, TJ Combo can punch a 550-pound robot named Fulgore about 13.4 feet into the air, which will require about 44,820 newtons of force, which is equal to about 10,075 pounds, or roughly 5 tons. Now, Sanji weighs about 108 pounds, which is roughly 1/5 of Fulgore's weight, which means it would take only 1/5 of the amount of force to launch Sanji as it would Fulgore, which falls down to 1 ton. Now, let's say that Nami punched Sanji about 100 feet into the air. In order to get that exact estimation, 13.4 multiplied by 7.5 equals 100.5 feet. So if we multiply that ton by 7.5, this means that Nami punched Sanjay with roughly 7.5 tons of force. Now, it is very possible that I could have miscalculated this, so correct me if I'm wrong. Now, some of you are probably wanting to dismiss this feat as nothing but comedic relief, but I think this feat might actually hold weight, because simply slapping or punching someone just for comedic relief is one thing, but actually punching someone hard enough to send them crashing through a ceiling and flying like 100 feet into the air is something else entirely that's actually worth noting. Now, even if you still want to dismiss this feat, I found another impressive feat of physical strength that might actually be more legit. When Nami combined her strength with Vivi, she attacked Miss Valentine, who used her powers to weigh 10,000 kilograms, which is over 11 tons, while she was trying to crush Usopp. Vivi and Nami intercepted her attack and knocked her away. Now, while this was a team effort, Vivi isn't isn't exactly the strongest fighter, so even without her, Nami's strength shouldn't be too far off from 11 tons. Now, even if we lowball this feat by cutting it in half, that would still be equal to at least 5.5 tons. So Nami's definitely a lot more impressively strong than she looks. Now, as for durability, not only can she tank a lot of physical abuse and being impaled multiple times and surviving, but one of her greatest, if not her greatest feat of durability was the time she and her friends survived the Ursa's Shock. The Ursa's Shock is essentially the world's most powerful compressed air bomb. The explosion was so powerful it completely destroyed Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark is basically the world's largest pirate ship. It's an entire island enclosed in a massive barrier that operates like a pirate ship. So therefore, we can estimate this explosion to be somewhere between city and island level. Being able to survive something like that is just incredible. Now let's discuss her abilities and arsenal. For starters, Nami can sense changes in weather through her body thanks to her strange supernatural sense. Also, there is a possibility that Nami may or may not have the ability to use Armament Hockey, which might explain how and why she was able to hurt and damage Luffy. Okay, now before people start saying that this was just for comedic relief, I would like to remind you that Luffy's body acts like rubber and cannot be damaged by normal physical attacks. Not only that, but believe it or not, it has actually been stated, or at least implied by Oda, that Nami was actually punching his spirit. Now, it is not 100% confirmed if Nami can use Armament Hockey to punch people's souls or not, but if she can use Armament Hockey, then she probably hasn't learned how to properly use it yet. Anyway, when it comes to fighting skill, Nami is very skilled when it comes to using a staff. Her signature weapon is called the Climatact. The Climatact has come in quite a few different alterations. The latest and most powerful alteration is called the 4th Climatact. Not only can the Climatact defend well against blaze and extend to an undetermined length, but it also gives Nami the ability to manipulate weather in many different ways, such as creating hurricanes, thunderclouds, lightning, hot and cold air, snowstorms, and much more. She can also use something called weather eggs, which she can crack open and release a small storm. Not only that, but the Climatact also grants her an ability called Mirage Tempo, which Nami uses to create illusions such as distracting decoys, and she can even temporarily turn herself invisible, which will definitely be useful. Now Nami also has a few other weapons, such as the Wind Knot, which is a rope that creates wind, and the Impact Dial. You know how Yang from Ruby has the ability to absorb damage and add it to her strength and turn it against the attacker? Well, the Impact Dial can actually do something very similar. The Impact Dial can absorb the impact of kinetic energy attacks, including explosions, and then release the energy and turn it against the attacker. While it does leave Nami's arm in pain afterwards, she can still tough it out. Oh, and not to mention, Nami also has an unusual special attack called the Happiness Punch, which is not exactly what it sounds like. Apparently, she exposes or flashes herself, which causes nearby men to faint unconscious from a massive nosebleed. Although this technique will pretty much be useless in this battle, considering that Nami will be fighting other girls, and I highly doubt any of them are lesbian. Anyway, as you can tell, the things that Nami is capable of are very impressive, but like the other pirates, she does have her flaws. She is possibly the weakest member of the Straw Hat Pirates, plus her combat style mainly relies on her Climatact, and she usually prefers to avoid direct combat, but she will still use it if she has to. However, she does have a few positive qualities that might make up for that. She is one of the smartest and most strategic members of the Straw Hats, and she is very well at manipulating or tricking others for her own benefits. Also, she is willing to use dirty and unfair fighting tactics. If she sees a weakness, she will exploit it. Overall, this piratic gal has got a lot up her sleeve, and you definitely don't want to screw with her. Okay, well maybe you'd want to literally, but you know what I mean.
This is it, folks. Who will be crowned the true pirate queen of the 7 seas? Well, let's find out. Now, without further ado, it's time for the Showoff to Showdown!
This is a Drew Pickles warning. This episode of Showoff Showdown contains sexually suggestive scenes that may or may not be considered offensive to some viewers. So, if you are any of the following: 1. A person who is easily offended by anything sexual regarding women. 2. A typical immature 5-year-old troll who thinks sex is gross. 3. A butt-hurt feminazi. Or 4. A gay poopy faggot like me, who can't stand the sight of slutty women. Then I extremely highly insist that you do not watch this video. But if you are none of the following things I've just listed, and if you are perfectly fine with these terms and conditions, then you may proceed to watch this video. Now excuse me, while I get out of here before these slutty pirates start fighting. Drew Pickles out.
Get ready for the next battle.
Fight!
Okay, the old silly sea dogs are.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
We've got us a map to lead us to a hidden box that's all locked up with locks and bloody deep away. We'll dig up the box. We know it's full of precious booty. Burst open the locks and then we'll say hooray! Your heart will be deep. Being a pirate is all everything. Do what you want 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yo ho ahoy and a blast. Being a pirate is really badass. I'm the black at the end of the blast. You are a pirate.
This is your last chance to leave this video before the really sexual stuff happens. It's entirely up to you if you want to stay or not, but if you choose to continue watching and then become offended by what you see, it's your own fault.
Motherfucker, slap that ass. Slap that ass, motherfucker. 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 Motherfucker, slap that ass.
Only human.
Dodge this.
Okay, so who's the winner?
Well, shiver me timbers! Looks like her chances of winning were just too risky.
Now let's discuss how and why Nami wins this epic piratic swashbuckling showdown. Now because I've already done a brief pre-analysis for all four pirates, I'm going to keep this explanation short and simple by using self-explanatory visual scale charts. Let's start off with skills and intelligence. Now as you can tell by this chart, most if not all four pirates are very smart, cunning, and clever. But in terms of fighting skill, Captain Syrup doesn't seem to have any formal fighting skills. Also, Miss Fortune is a skilled marksman, but her main style of combat is long-ranged, and she doesn't do as well in close combat. While on the other hand, both Nami and Risky Boots are very skilled in both long-range and close combat, and they have a much wider variety of different fighting movesets, which now leads me to abilities and arsenal. While all 4 pirates have a fairly good amount of abilities and weapons in their arsenal, I think it's safe to say that Risky has the largest arsenal of weapons, and Nami has the widest variety of different abilities. Now as for the physical categories, let's discuss strength. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Risky is roughly 4 times stronger than Captain Syrup and at least twice as strong as Miss Fortune, if not stronger. Now in the lead, Nami is roughly 2 to 5 times stronger than Risky. Now as for speed, I think it's safe to say that Captain Syrup is clearly outclassed in this category, as at least 2 of these pirates are fast enough to dodge lightning. We do know that Miss Fortune can dodge bullets, but if we highball her just like I said earlier during the pre-analysis, then she would be able to keep up with Risky and Nami. Now finally, as for durability, all 4 pirates have shown incredible feats of durability. If you don't know what their durability feats are, then you can always go back and rewatch the pre-analysis. Now keep in mind, we're highballing Miss Fortune in order to give her a good chance, cause like I said before, if we scale her to only peak human level, then she's gonna get crushed. Now even though her durability is highballed, Miss Fortune and Captain Syrup's levels of durability are still not as impressive as Nami and Risky's. So I think it's safe to say that Miss Fortune and Captain Syrup are almost completely outclassed by Nami and Risky. So therefore, while Syrup and Fortune are out, what it comes down to is Nami and Risky Boots. Okay, now before people just assume,
Nami wins cause, she's an anime character and, anime characters are OP.
now that has literally nothing to do with this debate. In fact, Nami and Risky Boots are surprisingly equally matched in more ways than one. They're both fast enough to dodge lightning, they both survived a city to island level explosion, they're both very skilled, smart, manipulative, and clever, and they can definitely fight on par with each other in both long range and close combat. While Risky does have a larger arsenal of weapons at her disposal, Nami makes up for that with her larger variety of special abilities such as weather manipulation. Now not only does Nami have the advantage in physical strength, but she also has a few tricks up her sleeve that will most likely give her the win. For example, you're probably thinking that Risky's cannons or explosive ammunition will overwhelm Nami, but with the impact dial, Nami can absorb the kinetic energy from the explosions and turn the impact of the damage against Risky. Not only that, but if Nami uses the Mirage Tempo to either create illusional decoys of herself or turn invisible, then Risky will have literally no way of detecting Nami, and she will be left wide open, giving Nami the perfect opportunity to surprise attack Risky. While it is true that Nami might not have the firepower to kill Risky, but she can still beat Risky by knockout, which should still count as a technical win regardless. Although, if it is true that Nami can use Arbonite Haki to punch people's souls, then something tells me that Risky is going to suffer quite a bit of damage from that. While Risky's body is very tough, and a fine sight to look at, she doesn't seem to have any way to shield her soul. Plus, Risky is not nearly as tough as Luffy, so a good punch to the soul is going to be very critical or possibly even fatal to Risky. So overall, while both pirates are evenly matched in many ways, Nami does have what it takes to get the job done. Now in conclusion, if I were to give a trophy to each pirate depending on which place they came in, I would have to give the 4th place ribbon to Captain Syrup, the bronze trophy to Miss Fortune, the silver trophy to Risky Boots, and the gold trophy to Nami. Now you're probably thinking that Miss Fortune would be in 4th place if we didn't highball her. Well actually, because Captain Syrup is weaker and slower than Miss Fortune, and she has no formal fighting skill and all her bombs can be used against her, I think it's safe to say that Captain Syrup will most likely be the first one to die regardless if we highball Miss Fortune or not. Okay, I'm glad I got that covered. So in the end, some pirate booty just got plundered. But luckily, Nami made it out in one piece. The winner of this battle is Nami. Now Nami and Risky Boots both stood a good chance in this battle, and they totally outclassed both Captain Syrup and Miss Fortune. Now I have a more worthy opponent in mind for them. If you want to see either Nami or Risky Boots take on Washbuckler from Skylanders, or perhaps maybe a new 3-way Pirates Battle Royale, then let me know in the comments below, and we'll see what happens in the future.
By the way, if this episode lost is sexual for you, then I will give you a link to a 2.0 clean version of this video, with all of the sexual scenes cut out, in the description below this video.
Character of
Next time on Showoff Showdown!
Our world is worth fighting for.
What killed the dinosaurs? Guys, age!
Ha ha ha.
Got any ideas for Showoff Showdown? Then let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I just might do them. Now stay tuned for the next episode of Showoff Showdown!
I enjoyed that. That was funny. Well, mostly funny, and very informative. I always love Canadian YouTubers' videos. Very fun to watch. Very fun. So, but okay, I'll admit I'm a bit of a fan of One Piece, and I wouldn't mind if Nami lost. I mean, I'm one of those rare breed of fans who goes, you know what? If my favorite character loses, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm alright with that. I mean, what's her name? Risky. She is a sight to behold. But in all seriousness, I mean, why do they need to sexualize up characters like that? Come on, guys. I mean, there was this one time when I was looking up on stuff on Street Fighter, and you know, like in later on games, they get like more female characters in, and they sexualize them up. I mean, Jesus Christ, what the hell is wrong with us? The two freaking D characters, but on the other hand, they look so good. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but anyways, yes. Ideas. Okay, I said this before, and I'll say it again. Jafar from Aladdin versus the Wishmaster from the Wishmaster. The real Ghostbusters versus the other Ghostbusters, which is Filmation's Ghostbusters, and Critters versus Gremlins. Those are my 3 suggestions, and I'd like to see them. And please go and check out my future arcs of Dragon Ball Super video. It's supposed to, like, you know, I'll say it, oh yeah. What it is, the Dragon Ball Super video is like, you know, it's supposed to, like, you know, give ideas of what you know, what they might do if Dragon Ball Super comes back. So please go and check that out if you guys don't mind. And yeah, if you don't know who Canadian YouTuber is, please go to his channel, subscribe to him. He's a great analysis when it comes to making videos. I love them. They're absolutely fun to react to. I enjoy them. I mean, funny, informative, and yeah, but basically they're very fun. I like them a lot. I like them a lot, and I plan to do more in the future. So yeah, that's all me done. You guys know what to do, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Thank you guys for watching, and if there's a series you want me to check out and review and give my thoughts on it, or if there's a top 10 list you want me to do, or any reactions, or responses, or rants on anything geeky, just leave links and comments in the comment sections below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And if you guys want to follow me on my social medias, I'm on minds.com, Twitch, Dailymotion, and Hatron, Reddit, BitChute, aka the new YouTube, DeviantArt, Discord, VidMe, Gab, Twitter, Tumblr, Patreon, GoFundMe, PayPal, and my other social medias are down there in the description box below, so if you want to go and check them out, please do. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video. And please go and check out my new skeptic channel, Gypsy Freak. It's also down there in the description box below. Peace out.